Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Get Rich 101. I'm your host, and here is your co-host. Ta-da! P King, P King. I was giving her a minute to get herself together.
Thank you,
But
Sekou
yeah,
Rice.
yeah,
Good
yeah, yeah.
morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Good
New Year.
morning. So we are here. We are here. And
Sorry.
Want me to take you off for a second?
Nope.
I'll take her off for a second. Okay, here she is. Here she
Thank
is. Okay.
you. Thank you.
All right. So, welcome to New Thought Women. No, congratulations to New Thought Media Network. Thanks for giving us the impetus to keep going, to keep going, to keep going. And welcome to B King. Thanks for being here. And what else was I supposed to say?
You were supposed to say welcome to Fiance Files.
Welcome to Fiance Files. Welcome to Fiance Files. Yeah, welcome to Fiance Files.
And yeah, thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Is that water? What is that?
No, this is muscle milk.
Oh.
Muscle milk. Mom got me these. I got them. She sent me to the store by myself. I was like, woo, woo. I was scared to go by myself. But I went to the store and she said, power drinks. And I was looking around the store. I could not find the power drinks. And I had gotten tired then of asking everybody, because I asked everybody, hey, excuse me, you care what this is? Hey, do you care what this is? And I was determined to find one on my own. I found this. I found muscle milk. I said, oh, I remember that from when I was, going to work out in the gym. So I was like, yeah, I could do the muscle milk.
Speaking of working out in the gym, I found, because, I've been helping to clean up, declutter, clear the space so that a clear space helps you have a clear mind. And so I found a workout that you wrote out, and I was impressed. I was like, wow.
A workout that who?
That you wrote out. I think you were going to the gym downstairs, and it's a whole workout. Yeah, you.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. And so, babe, check. I can't remember if muscle milk is dairy. If they use whey protein, I think they do.
Okay. I'll check.
So I'll send you, because you can buy the plant-based protein shakes from the store as well. I'll send you some, the list. I know you're so excited. You're like, yay.
Well, this is the last one anyway. But all right, I'll check it out.
Okay. All right.
So we are talking about money. We are talking about money, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. One, your reaction to me and Rush being on the show together. Because you filled up the screen with comments. I was like, ooh. So I saved that screen up. It's still up with all your comments. Because there was things there that were new to me. And then also, I got a little YouTube I wanted to share with everyone. Corey Mark sent this to me last night, and I'm gonna share this with everyone, and we'll get into it. So let's start with me and Rush. So Rush and I did this show randomly, and we were talking about working with the
unhoused men.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of the title, but anyway, the unhoused men, and I was working with them, and I was talking to this one man about getting a wealth advisor. Now you said lots of things. Let me give it over here.
And let people know who Rush is, for those who don't know who Rush is.
Rush was one of my close friends, but he used to come to the hospital every day, which is unheard of because he wasn't even living in Nashville at the time. Mm-hmm. He was living in North Carolina. He came to Nashville to look after me, and I was like, who is this dude? Because of my amnesia, I was like, oh, this guy all here all the time. But he stood the test of time, and he stood up to me. So anyway,
you have Really good friends. Really good friends.
Okay. So this is it. Here's one. It says, okay, no, you said you addressed this one to Rush. Rush, I opened an account with no dollars. That man spent almost 1.5 hours with me alone. Now you're talking about Bygrave. And
Yeah.
so tell us about that. I didn't know that. So first of all, hold on for everyone. Rush asked me, other people have asked me, what's the minimum? What's the minimum you need to open an account with Charles Schwab? And I've said $1. But you saying that you got involved with less than $1, just $0, right?
Yes.
So
I think we need to change the terminology from wealth advisor, wealth manager to something else, because they can be intimidating for people who don't feel wealthy.
yes, yes, indeed.
And,
It felt that way
and
to me.
they make you think that these people in these roles who have this responsibility of advising, managing money, are for other people. They're for those other people. They're for the celebrities. They're for the politicians. They're for the
Yeah.
CEOs.
And time out. By the way, that's the point. That's the point, because the people that use it that way use it to protect itself.
Yeah.
So the wealthy can stay up here and everyone else can stay down here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You invited me to go in and talk to this guy at Charles Schwab.
Yeah.
And I remember, because it was very last minute. It was, you were like, Fee, I need you to go. And I was like,
yeah,
right now? And I don't think we had gotten to our run. And so we ended up running there. So we're in our sweats, looking very blue collar.
Now, you know what? Oh, I'm gonna let you finish it. I'm gonna let you finish.
Look, yeah, we had on workout clothes. And I remember when we entered the lobby, we weren't received very warmly. And we didn't care, because we knew that we were here to see this guy. I didn't know who this guy was. I didn't know why you were there. However, I figured you needed me to help you communicate, because that's been my role as well.
Absolutely.
We get in. It's a brother, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. A young brother.
Yes.
And you're asking him questions, and you're shocked when he said, because I remember you asking him, okay, well, how do you get paid? How much do you charge? And he said several times nothing. And you're like, what? And you leaned in. So once we got past that.
So pause. I was really convinced that the money was hidden somewhere. That his payment was hidden somewhere.
Hidden fees.
I was like, huh?
I said hidden fees.
Yeah, hidden fees. Hidden fees. There was something I was going to get to it. And it just shocked me entirely that there was no fees at all.
Yeah. And what he explained, his name is Chris Bygrave. What Chris explained was Charles Schwab manages a $3 trillion fund.
Yeah.
I believe it's a lot of money.
$3 trillion, yeah, $3 trillion.
And he gets paid from the amount of clients that he helps. He has a lot of clients, and a lot of clients with a lot of money. Mm-hmm. You can open a Charles Schwab account from your phone, or you can go in and talk with someone like Chris Bygrave. He helped you, set you up. You were shocked that based on what you had already been doing. So I think you need to also give yourself credit, Sekou, because you got the ball rolling during COVID by investing, by going down the rabbit hole of learning about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, stocks, and now day trading. So
okay, let's pause again right there. Because I want people to understand that I was just trying stuff. When we went in to see Bygrave, I was just trying stuff. And before that, I was just trying stuff. You know, I had gotten where I'd gotten to with stocks, buy a little bit. Let me buy a little bit of this. This seems like it's working. Let me buy a little bit of this on this platform. Let me buy this on this platform. I mean, on all kinds of platforms. I had stuff on Cash App, had stuff on Forex. No, what's that app?
We will.
We will.
Robinhood.
Robinhood. I had stuff in all these different places, just a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And so I just want everybody to understand that it was not clean. What I did was not clean. It was dirty. It was messy. But I was trying. I was trying this and trying this.
And nothing beats a failure but a try. And because you had been trying, I don't even want to say you were trying, because I don't believe that I believe that you were doing, because trying is talking about it and doing is actually doing it. So you were doing it because of what you had already started for yourself. Chris Bygrave simply organized it and showed you something that you had an inclination was possible. You had an inclination that, and I don't know where you got that from, that you could draw an income from your previous investments.
Let me tell you what. I did not have any inclination. I didn't.
Really?
I thought what he was going to say is, I can give you $25.
But still, you had an idea that you could draw an income, though.
No, $25 period, forever, for life. Like just $25. I thought maybe I can get $25 forever. And I was like, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Well, listen, Chris Bygrave, he worked his magic and his expertise and his wisdom. So he showed you that you can draw an income for a period of time. And as I'm sitting there, because I'm taking notes, is that another coffee?
No, I put the muscle milk into a coffee cup because I didn't like how the optics looked. So I wanted it to look more on brand. So thanks for pointing this out. But yeah, now I've got the blue bison cup, but I've got muscle milk inside of it here.
All right. You know, I'm giving you a hard time, but not really. I'm taking it all in. I'm taking notes and I'm not understanding most of it. However, I said I'm here for note taking to help Sekou decipher all of this information. And then you say to Chris, "Oh, Fee wants to get in." And I just nodded. However, I was just thinking to myself, get in with what? Like, no. Because maybe a month and a half prior to us going in, I had cashed out about 60% of my stocks because I had an emergency. And I had my emergency fund wasn't enough to take care of the emergency that I had when I went to Atlanta. And I was just thinking.
Pause. You had an emergency fund and you got to use that emergency fund. Like,
well,
that's epic. That's epic.
Well, okay. We'll go with that. Yeah. It was a blessing. However, what I learned is I need more of an emergency fund and I need a couple because the emergency fund wasn't enough. And sometimes it might not be enough based on the emergency. You know, if you have a $5,000-$10,000 emergency, if you have something, that's better than nothing. And so I was just thinking to myself, no, I'm here for Sekou. And then Chris and Sekou made an appointment for me to come back. I was just like, what is going on? Right. And I said to myself, I said, you know, if you continue to do what you've been doing, you'll continue to get what you get.
That part.
And so I created an account on the app. I did not fund it. I went into Chris within an hour and a half. I had it funded and I had a Roth IRA. I had never thought about getting a Roth IRA. Like, I wish when I was getting all those acting residual checks and, you know, bonuses and clients paying me $3,000 and $4,000 that I would have known. But now, when you know better, you do better. And so now that I know more, I'm doing more. And I think the point is to just start where you are, even if that's a conversation. Just start with a conversation. Be open to having a conversation.
Yeah. That's really interesting because my enthusiasm for getting you in was based on his enthusiasm for giving me this information. I was like, you doing what now with my money that I've already got? Like, you're doing something with what I already have? He's like, yes. And I was like, okay, she needs to get in too. She needs to get on too. She
Yeah.
needs to get on too because
And yeah. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. And I love that because you could have easily just said, no, this is for me. I'm doing this thing. And, but you were so open and shareful about it. And Chris was so comforting. He really makes you feel comfortable. And there's something about his energy that makes you feel, or it made me feel that it's possible.
right.
And so I think, again, we just need to come up with a different word or different phrasing for wealth manager.
Yeah, right.
I get how it can be intimidating, and I think the former me would not have been open. And it's kind of like life insurance. A lot of times people don't want to have the conversation because, oh, I don't want to talk about death.
Right.
But you want to talk about life, and death is a part of life.
Right.
It's the natural cycle of life. And so you can avoid it, but it's going to happen. And retirement, getting to a certain age where you either slow down or you lose interest in working, or you're just unable to because that's the natural cycle of life.
Yeah.
You need to have certain things in place. If nothing else, just having a willingness to have the conversation and then decide, okay, I want to move forward, or I at least want to get myself ready to move forward.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out that we came there as part of our workout because that was part of my plan, because I didn't feel comfortable at all. I did not feel comfortable at all reaching out to buy grade, right? And so my goal was to come in having done my run, because my energy level after I've done my run is much higher than my regular energy level.
Yeah,
And
that
so
dopamine.
we came in, we blew. I mean, I don't know what you talk about. We blew that place up. We were like, yeah. I mean, the energy. Everybody was like, what is going on? I felt like empowered. I felt like we were empowered.
Oh,
there.
definitely.
Water, getting water for us and all the things. And we were doing it.
That was Chris. I mean, I think when we first walked in, I'm not talking about you and I'm talking about people in the lobby. I think they weren't accustomed to someone who looked like us, very casual. And
I feel like they were going for us. I was like, ooh. So that's just how I feel. I feel
okay,
like, yeah, we got it. So
yeah,
anyway.
okay.
So anyway, so you said that he guided you to have a Roth IRA.
Yes.
And that's what he did for you, coming in with no money. So that the phrase is now that there's zero money.
Well, yes, you can work with a wealth manager, wealth advisor. You can work with someone who is going to help you make decisions as to how to grow and or manage your money. That's how I'm going to phrase it, because that term.
Okay.
So I created an account. I did not fund it.
Okay.
You made me an appointment, and I remember the day I went in, you weren't able to go with me for whatever reason. So I went by myself.
Okay.
I was with him for about an hour and a half. I did have some stocks in my Robinhood, but I was a little reluctant because, remember, I had cashed out about 60% of my investment for that emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of what I was experiencing was a little bit of fear around releasing and kind of being comfortable with knowing that I had this little nest egg.
Mm-hmm.
And the more he and I talked, the more I shared with him, we both realized you need to focus on retirement. You need to focus on retirement, and you need a vehicle where you can fund it and the investments will grow based on where we put the money in. and you can't touch it. And I was completely like, I was able to release that because I said, this is for the future. And then I learned about some other vehicles, you know, creating a travel fund, creating an emergency fund through Charles Schwab. So a lot of it was information, but I felt comfortable with having that experience with him based on your first experience. Like I got to know him, I learned a little bit, and then I've been in what, maybe 2 or 3 times beyond that, and we have a nice rapport. I would just encourage people to start with a willingness. Start with a willingness and ask yourself if what I've been doing is yielding the results that I want thus far. And if not, am I willing to do something different?
Ashe. Ashe.
That's where I was. I am willing to do something different.
Ashe. So, no, Reverend Melissa's popped in to say the same thing. Chris is so supportive. He gave me homework to do that I am committed to completing this month. So
yes, Reverend Melissa, because she has a willingness. And sometimes I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I think and Reverend Melissa talks about this a lot, is it starts with a willingness. You don't have to commit. You don't have to say a definitive yes, but you don't want to say a definitive no, and just be willing and ask yourself the question, what do I want? What do I want?
Yeah.
Versus focusing on what I don't have. Because that's where we get stuck. We focus on what I don't have and I need. And once I start making more, or once I have, no.
Right.
Oh.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now, today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Speaking of right now, one of the things that I'm doing right now is decluttering. And I'm going through a lot of things in Sekou's apartment. And you know what? I've been saying this to myself, Sekou, that I have everything I need. That I have everything I need. And as I'm looking around, I'm saying to myself, everything I need is right here. So not only do I have everything I need, but everything I need is right here. So last night, I did a live presentation. It was a demonstration, raw vegan dessert with my friend Jasmine. She's the director of The Invisible Vegan. She's amazing.
Yeah, folks.
So
check it out. Check it out. Available online
on YouTube.
Right now.
You can watch it for free on YouTube. And so as I'm gathering things, and I started moving things out of the kitchen because I wanted it to be clean and clear, I stumbled upon something that has blown my mind. Can I share?
Yeah, sure.
I stumbled upon this book. Do you remember this book?
No.
It is titled The DASH Diet for Hypertension.
And it's my book?
It's your book. The DASH Diet for Hypertension. And then there's a companion piece that was written by someone else called DASH Diet for Vegetarians.
Wow.
And I want to just share, because I've been highlighting. I said, I know it's his book, but I don't think he remembers, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It says here that if you follow this diet for 14 days, you can lower or you could potentially lower or completely reverse your high blood pressure.
Wow.
In 14 days. So Sekou, you were already on the track. This is your book.
I guess I was buying things in advance of, because I don't remember opening that book. I remember it open, but I guess I knew enough to buy the book and have it on the shelf.
And you bought this one as well. So starting Monday, you and I, I'm inviting you. I'm not telling you, but I'm kind of voluntolding you. You and I are going to host a 14-day DASH diet challenge. Let me share something with you really quickly in here. It says here, high blood pressure. There's so many things. Okay. Who is most at risk for hypertension? For example, high blood pressure is more common in African Americans than in whites, and it develops earlier in African Americans, and it's more severe. And so when someone has hypertension, it instantly puts you at risk of having three things: stroke, heart attack, and osteoporosis. This right here is a magic cure, and we have everything we need right here in this apartment. All right. Yeah.
All
So I
right.
started reading this morning. I'm already 16 pages in.
Okay. And Reverend Mel says, I love that volunteering.
Right? No, Reverend Melissa, you know, the old Sekou, I wouldn't have been able to volunteer.
That's funny too. That's funny too. I went to lunch with them recently. Folks at home, they're watching. I went to lunch with them, and Fee asked Mel across the table, was like, "Did he used to be like that?" And she was like, "No, he wouldn't have gone for that. Whatever it was they were talking about." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And they were like, "Nah, that's not the old Sekou." So it's interesting to me how much of my baby steps I'm willing to take with other people.
Praise God.
Yeah,
praise God.
Anyway, let me put this in before this goes away. I wanted to show this to you. Again, Corby sent this to me, and I thought this was fantastic because
I'm excited.
It reminds me of Walter Reed. I won't get into it because I don't have enough time, but let me show you this. Let me show you this. Here we go.
Turn up the volume.
He's never made more than $12 an hour. Never earned more than $20,000 a year.
How you doing?
So how could he know something about corporate profit? I had to pry.
So Earl, what's your net worth?
$500,000.
$500,000.
Yeah.
From working here.
Working here.
That's amazing.
Over $500,000 net worth on a parking lot wage. Now Mr. Earl had my full attention. How did he do it?
Stop working so hard and let the money work for you.
As the years rolled by, Earl kept saving what seemed like meaningless amounts. He started investing $25 each month into a mutual fund and did that consistently for 15 years. By the late 70s, his net worth was $25,000. He bought stock in blue chips like IBM and Coca-Cola that paid dividends, and
instead of taking the dividends and parking it, let it set or let it reinvest itself, and it increased my shares. And the more shares I had, the more dividend I had. Eventually, the more money I had down the road.
He believed in the power of compound interest and stocks for the long haul. Today, Earl's stock portfolio alone is worth more than $500,000. And yes, his house is paid for. And no, he doesn't carry any credit card debt. He's never made more than...
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Ooh. That one gives me chill bumps. I think Earl lives in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, I recognize the house, the architecture. I tell you, that is so powerful because, and you talk about this a lot, Sekou, which is oftentimes people think they need to make more. I need to make more money. You know, as soon as I make more money.
Because that used to be the way I used to think.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. And it's not the truth. You just need to know what to do with the money you have. And you got to learn patience. We now live in such a fast turnover, fast food, fast results society that we want it right now. And it just doesn't happen that way. And that is a beautiful testimony. That is, I know you're going to send that to me because now I want to do more research on Earl, go really, really deep. And we got to get Earl on Get Rich 101.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. That'd be great because I don't have much time. I don't have any time left, but I just want to say this. That what you do, your baby steps, necessitate what you do next. Because I never would have gone in to see Chris Bygrave if I hadn't been fooling around with these stocks.
Yeah. And if you didn't have a stroke. That's why I said, I think we got to give a lot more credit to your stroke.
Yeah.
A lot more credit and gratitude. I know that sounds odd. I know. I can't, but I feel that with my whole heart. More gratitude for your stroke.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, remember, everyone, that now
It's
is better
than perfect.
Yes, yes, yes. And we'll see you next week. And till then, keep doing. Keep doing. Keep doing. I said. I'll see you later.